Back to Talk of the Town. Wedding season is here. There's a flurry of ceremonies over the next several months.
And it's easy to step out of line and not even know it. Event planner Hugh Howser is here with some do's and don'ts that we all need to keep in mind.
Of course, you call them the Hughes and don'ts.
Exactly. Hey, guys.
Great. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. How are y'all?
Doing great. I guess since you plan so many weddings with H3 events, you see all the wrong things that people tend to do.
Yes, you can imagine.
Yeah.
One of the main things that's so crazy now is RSVPs are so crazy because people are forgetting to RSVP. The world of email and texting has sort of slowed that down. So it's very, very important to make sure that you RSVP.
So do that soon, but also don't add somebody extra, right?
No, that's the worst. And they're even adding them on the envelopes. Like they're even writing their names saying Hugh Howser plus Brad Pitt. It's exhausting.
That happens all the time.
I mean, every day.
Wow. Yep. All right, now the other thing too, as far as somebody who's planning a wedding, is don't be afraid of using a planner. We had one, and our wedding was 24 years ago, but it was fantastic to have somebody who was a point person for everything.
Yes, and if you planners sort of scare people, but if you have a helper, someone that you trust, it just takes that all that pressure off of you. It's so much easier to have someone do it for you. And there's so many things that go on that day that you don't realize. You think you can do it all, and you just don't enjoy it. Yeah. So you need to have a planner on your side. Okay. And if you don't want to vouch for a planner, have a helper, someone you trust.
Yeah, and technically a planner can save you money.
Oh, absolutely, because they have deals with people and they can extend discounts and all that. So it's really, really beneficial.
Good.
And when you speak about money, I guess the other big thing with money is don't panic over a budget, because you hear these stories now about this wedding costing more than a car, in some cases more than a house. So don't panic about the budget.
Don't panic about the budget, because there's a less expensive option for everything. There's a cheaper chair, there's a cheaper linen, you don't have to spend as much on flowers. There's an option for everything. There's cheaper food. You just have to be cognizant of that.
Okay. I think a lot of folks tend to get kind of wigged out by the idea of, oh my gosh, I only have a year to do it, or I only have 6 months to do it, or whatever, the time frame.
Yes, just make that checklist, make decisions, don't waver, don't wander around waiting, be decisive.
And just start checking it off.
Just
yeah.
You can do it in 2 months if you have to. Test me.
So call you now for a wedding in June, is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, I can do it.
All right, let's talk from a guest standpoint. We gave one earlier about RSVPing, but another one I wouldn't have thought about is don't bring a gift to the wedding.
Yes, that's from the planner's standpoint, because it drives me insane to have to carry all those gifts around, let alone if you didn't have a planner, you're responsible for all that.
Yeah, so somebody in the family has to do that.
Yes, and you've had this huge wedding, you're exhausted, and you've got to drag a Cuisinart up a hill.
Yeah.
You know.
So instead
send gift cards, ship them, deliver them yourself. They'll really, really, really love you in the end for that, because that is such a pain to deal with after the wedding's over.
I bet. Talk about some other do's. What are do's we need to think about for folks who are attending weddings?
You need to make sure, of course, that you RSVP, that you don't add anyone, and you want to make sure that you meet your budget. You want to make sure that you come in under your budget.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
What about, can guests wear white to weddings yet? That used to be so forbidden.
I say no, because that's very confusing. But I say no still.
Yeah, I think so too.
Don't you think?
Well, yeah, let the bride be the star.
Yep.
Don't compete.
Yep.
And then from the person having the wedding, the bride, don't be afraid to make it about your personality, to show your personality.
That's the key. That's sort of my secret. I always bring in something of theirs that shows them, like if they're in music or something with the music choices, or if whatever they're into. Like create a space maybe for the groom, like if the groom's into hunting, create a hunting space. If there's a theme, you know.
Cool.
Just brings out your personality, and people love it, and that makes it stand out from other weddings.
Yeah, you can see why having. What?
I was going to say my groom wedding cake was a weather map.
Oh,
it was?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Of course it was. Yeah.
Yolanda surprised me with that one.
That's a great idea.
That's awesome, and congratulations, 24 years.
Yeah.
I'm 37 tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, isn't that great? So
wedding
happy
week.
anniversary, Dan. I know, it is kind of wedding week.
Wedding
All right,
week.
you see why you need a planner now, right? It's got a lot of great ideas. For more party planning details, we're going to link you to H3 events.
Back